Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the second session talk of the day, our first lightning talk. We're very excited, have a great one lined up for you. We have Christiaan and Danny here from TD Securities, and we have a few fun facts to kick it off. Christiaan actually took off for a 3-month road trip across North America to teach his partner how to ski, and they went to 25 different resorts for that. That's pretty impressive. Yes, round of applause. Good job, Danny was on his university football team, and he once held the North American record for most consecutive losses, 0 to 49. So have some stars up here. And without further ado, welcome Christiaan and Danny.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to thank you all for coming out. How's everybody enjoying Summit so far? Great keynote this morning, right?
Yeah, right.
So we'd like to thank you. Our talk is going to be on uniting a global workforce and how we launched an internal user group. For those of you that were wandering off looking for lunch and got lost, I do apologize ahead of time. Please just sit through this. I promise Christiaan and I will walk you over once we're done, okay? So, we moved way ahead here. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to start our journey a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, or as some of you may know it, Summit 2016 in San Jose. Christiaan and I have been working together for about 3 years, had never gotten to meet. We'd only traded emails, and this is the actual first time that we did meet was at Summit 2016.
Yeah, I can't believe it was so long ago. I mean, I talk to Danny every day now.
What a joy, right? Can you only imagine the treat that is?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so when I attended Summit 2016, it was on behalf of TD Bank Financial Group. I was representing the enterprise. I had grown a small instance of the Atlassian stack from 25 users to 10,000. So I was at the point now where I was very rigid, and the other enterprise was coming in to help us. So when I came, I was from a top-down kind of looking in on all the tooling. And when I had met Danny, it was just like, it was perfect. It was like I had a redo. He was working tightly with developers, globally situated, and it was a grassroots movement. And I was like, oh, I want to be part of this. Funny enough, the fun fact, I took off for a few months to reset as I was internally transitioning to Danny's team.
All right. So we left Summit 2016, we got matching haircuts, and we decided to unite forces and see how we could do some different things at TD. So what we finally landed on from Summit, our 3 takeaways were, as you're walking the floor here, what do you see? You see an enthusiasm, an energy, an excitement. We thought, how can we capture that lightning, throw it in a bottle, and bring it back with us, and actually use it in our day-to-day work? The second thing we landed on was, you know what? We all have busy day-to-day schedules. We all have bloated project lines, very little finances to do that with. We knew we had to do this on a very limited budget. So we wanted to make sure whatever we did was going to be cost-effective for us. And the third thing was, look around you while you're at Summit. You're going to see folks from Spain, London, Singapore, Japan, Toronto, New York, Brazil. The footprint here is global, and that's something we were dealing with at TD as well. And how are we going to capture that diversity, bring everybody together, and have a platform for them to actually share their experiences? Well, after some discussion and landing on our 3 points, we thought, what better way than to host an internal user group? Now, fortunately for myself, I'd been hosting the Toronto user group since 2015, and my co-lead here, Susan, was a great mentor. She's actually the Jira queen, and she was very instrumental in getting us started. And we thought, great, you know what? Let's launch this internal user group. Let's bring it to TD and see how that goes for us.
Yeah, so I had participated in the Toronto user group, and it was great. There was a lot of attendees, and then when Danny and I were talking about the internal user group in 2016, I'm like, can we fill the seats? We have enough people. Because we were in a smaller, the investment bank arm of TD Bank, called TD Securities. We didn't know if we had that usage. So what do you know? We did some global exploration, and there is a plethora of these tools. These are very important tools to developers, and they are all over the globe. So when we, click through. Oh, yeah, so this is the number I found. 329. Guess what number that is, Danny?
No idea. 329 what, Christiaan?
system level administrators. Right?
Well, so hang on. You're going to tell me we had 329 system admins?
Yeah, I mean, with a couple misclicks and typing in your password once or twice, you could really do some damage.
All right, now if that number is not sending shivers down everybody's spine out there, I don't know what will. I mean, one thing to take away from this talk, one thing, do not have 329 system admins, ever.
Yeah, absolutely. But at least they had some enthusiasm and they were passionate about it. So, our assumptions were that we'll get get everyone together, right, and like-minded individuals, and we're going to make something great, right? So we had a redo of the stack, and we wanted to get consistency through practitioners. That's one of the problems with the enterprise, is sometimes they do from the top down. We had this user group as the platform to find like-minded practitioners. What's once said, can you flip to the next slide? That this consistency is very hard. Well, because the practitioners, it takes 10,000 hours to become a master of something. And we just didn't have those skills. Some of these tools are relatively new. So we had to use our user group's total sum of time and as the platform to build our next great innovation.
All right, so we got back, and what were our outcomes for 2016? Well, we launched our internal user group. With the help of the community team, we were able to get Joe Tong from Atlassian to come out, kick it off for us. We had a great platform for all our regions. Everybody joined in. And we use these internal user groups to discuss everything. Basically, what's new in the software, any changes, what add-ons are we testing out, custom fields, anything and everything. And to empower our users, what we did is we used the 80-20 rule. So if 80% majority carried it, we would go through with it. And we found this very effective because then people took ownership of the instance. People actually cared. Now, because we did this, we were able to reduce that frightening number, that 329, to a very, very small team now that actually manages our tool set. It's never been healthier. We have 24/7 support for it, and it's fantastic. So that also gave us one central instance. As you saw from Christian's earlier slide, we had multiple instances. We're now in one instance. One instance for Jira, one instance for Confluence, all our tools, Bitbucket. So we have one central repository for everything. And it's great because it's up to date, the data's not stale, and everybody knows where to get their information. But the most important thing that came out of all of this is that we gave people a platform, and they were connecting and working together, and we were driving innovation from there. I mean, we're all here because we love the tools. We all love the Atlassian tool set. It's fantastic. But at the end of the day, it's just a tool set. The real magic was when we connected these people. We gave them a platform and an opportunity to share amongst themselves. And that's when we really saw things starting to drive change, and that's when we really saw things starting to progress. So now, we knocked it out of the park in 2016. What are we going to do for 2017?
Yeah, good point, Danny. We all aspire to be, like Atlassian. This is a great tech company with culture and products to match. Walking around Summit 2017, Danny and I were walking around and saying, the internal Atlassian user group was one of the first ones in the world with great success. Lots of notoriety. Now, what can we do to step on up? And we looked around and we said, all of this. We want all of this.
Exactly.
Right? There's nothing stopping you from doing this. So we looked around and we took away some key points, and we kicked off our own developer conference. So we held a developer conference a couple months ago. Very similar format to this. We had a keynote in the morning. Obviously, good pastries and coffee. We had a keynote with 3 speakers. Good. We had product roadmaps. We had a lunch, and actually in the afternoon we had these breakout sessions. And Dan is a perpetual optimist. He's always trying to push me, and I'm always like, oh, I don't know if there's enough people. Like, are people going to want to present? So we had a call for papers, and it's amazing once you put that out there of like, hey, would you like to speak to your within your organization? The amount of feedback we got. So we were oversubscribed to that. So very hands-on collaboration with developers, the people creating the thing. And then, we had a social after, stole a little bit of bash and brought it home. But yeah, as I, this is a picture of the events. It was great. So there was 100 in person. We had live streamed globally, so over 250 people. Yeah, the swag was very important. We even crowdsourced that.
We did.
Right? So we crowdsourced the design of all of our T-shirts and swag bags. But yeah, I digress. This year, I'm looking around, so if you see me in the expo hall taking pictures of napkins, that's because I pay attention to details. The amount of detail that Atlassian puts together to increase your experience, we have to be very cognizant about, because then you can bring some of that stuff home. It doesn't cost a lot of money, and it's a little bit of effort on your behalf.
Exactly. So what you can take away from all of this is, again, if the two of us on a shoestring budget and with just a couple of ideas were able to make this much of a change, try to do the same. I mean, our 3 points, and they're not prescriptive, but something that you can try to take away are definitely, doesn't have to be high cost. You can get support. Atlassian is there to help you. We're definitely there. You can reach out to us, and we can give you some feedback. Give your folks a platform, connect them, and just remember that once you've planted that root and given them somewhere to go, the magic will happen on its own. You just kind of step out of the way and watch all the great things feed from that, right? So if you do want to stay in touch with us, Christiaan, how would they do that?
Yeah, so we're all like-minded individuals here, and I really want to keep this community, right? So number one, to inspire us for what we're going to do in 2019. We haven't figured it out yet. You'll see us around for the next couple of days, but we want either you can participate in the next venture, or add ideas. So you can add them through connect@tde.com. Thank you very much for coming today. We really appreciate it.
We do, and if there's any questions, we'll take them now. For those of you that are looking for lunch, we will walk you over shortly as well. So please, do hang in there.
Questions? We have about 3 minutes. Yeah.
Could you just talk us through the format for the user group meetings, the monthly meetings?
Yeah, absolutely. So generally, we try to have some kind of content that we've prepared around any platform changes we have. So any upgrades that have gone on, anything like that. We'll also highlight generally one plugin per session, and that's when we'll do the voting, the 80-20 voting. We'll discuss there's always requests for workflow changes, custom fields, et cetera. Then we'll go into that portion of it. And then at the end, we run a Slido poll. So we generally will get feedback from our users. What do you want to see the next month? And we try to let the community drive it as much as possible, because as much as we think we have great ideas, we really don't. We just like sourcing other people's wonderful ideas and passing them off as our own.
Anyone else? They covered it all.
Awesome.
You go.
What support did Atlassian give you in setting up the internal user group?
Go for it.
Again, the Atlassian community team has been fantastic. There is a website, and we can give that out to you, where you can sign up. They will give you full support. They will offer you swag for the events. They will help reimburse if you do any kind of catering for the event. We've been able to get multiple speakers out. We're able to work with them to get Joe Tong to come speak on our behalf. We are working to get Dom Price to come out and do his little aerobics for us as well. So they've been fantastic. They've offered a ton of support right through this.
Awesome. Anything else before lunch? Okay, great. Well, reminder to review them in the app. Tell them how great they did. And thank you again.
Yeah,
Big
thanks.
round of applause.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your summit.